John is a certified master mindset life and behavioral consultant who has run several suicide prevention and intervention programs for the United States Army and is himself a survivor of suicidal ideation. When you hear his inspiring story of how he made it through some of the darkest times in his life, you'll be inspired as he was to find hope to live again. Please welcome, joining us live from San Antonio, Texas, John Ebron.
Thank you so much, Mark and David. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to share a bit of my story because our stories are, as I like to say, completely different and absolutely the same, right? So there's elements into all of the things that we're experiencing, particularly those who may be challenged right now with suicidal ideation. And I want you to hear this. If you hear nothing else, you are not alone. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my struggle, my turning point, my breaking point, and then how I began to get on this road of healing and recovery through the things that I learned connecting with others. So as Mark and David did mention, I am a proud service veteran. I got the opportunity to serve 20 years in the United States Army's Chaplains Corps, and I served as what we called a master resilience trainer for 10 of my 20 years as well. So this has always been an area of my life where I've been engaged in providing support to others. To add to my story, however, I'm also a proud member of the LGBTQIA community. And as a gay service member, I spent 16 of my 20 years under Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So if you could think about it from this perspective, I was kind of in a trap where I was to serve and support, but was illegal, at least in my mind, to request support when I needed it the most. So there, I found myself in this deep, dark area of despair where I really began to feel lonely, although I'm a part of the largest team in the world, right? So that's one of the first things I wanted to share with you is that regardless of where you're at, it is possible to feel alone, even if you're surrounded by people. And it's important that we learn how to check in with ourselves, honor who we are, and recognize when we're not where we want to be, how we want to be in our lives. We deserve, every person listening to me today deserves to be healthy, happy, and whole. And when we get out of that state of being for a long period of time, the options to live life in a thriving way feel like they're stripped away down to a degree that we even may consider taking our own lives. So I want to encourage you that once you feel yourself out of alignment, to know that there is hope. One, two, know that there are people that care for you. Three, and that you should, with veracity, move into your strategies of self-care and allowing yourself to be supported on personal and professional levels. So let me tell you a little bit about my struggle. Again, being in this place of loneliness and despair, what I learned is that loneliness creates levels of despair. And someone may be experiencing that today, where not only are they experiencing loneliness, but they're experiencing guilt for feeling lonely. And they're feeling, on top of that guilt, an inability to connect with other people, and then a sense of judgment for not being able to connect. And it snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. And we may feel as though what we're experiencing is an indication of what we deserve. Again, I want you to grab hold to hope as you listen to the speakers today, as you learn more about what is available to us as being a part of a collective. I want you to grab hold of hope. And I want you to know that you have total permission to reach beyond what you're experiencing and cling to what you deserve. So for me, the breaking point, living in this despair for so long, I found myself not being able to function, although I had those same responsibilities on my shoulder, right? So for me, it climaxed during a deployment, my final deployment while I was in the military. I was deployed in Afghanistan with incredible responsibilities on my shoulders and feeling as though I had no support system. so that I had to carry that burden on my own. And as you can imagine, it compound, and it weighed and weighed on me to the degree that I found myself one day in my little rack, in my little hooch, with my 9mm in my mouth, wanting to end it all. Now, this was the turning point for me because, as happenstance would have it, and whatever else is at play, my roommate happened to walk in just as I was planning to make a permanent decision about a temporary situation. He, as a battle buddy, as a brother, as a friend, loved me back to life. And what I learned is that when I don't have the strength on my own, I can borrow the strength from the community that I'm a part of. So that began to open up this idea that living life is actually possible for someone like me. And again, I want to share hope with you that if you're feeling in despair, I want you to know that living life is possible for you, not just surviving, but thriving. We got to hang on to hope. So finally, as I got ready to end my career, one of my units was holding what we called a mental health unit readiness inventory, right? A lot of words. What it really meant was we're just checking in to see how everyone is doing. Simple survey where people will begin to express how they've been feeling over the past 12 months. And about question 99 of this 100-question survey, there was a question that asked, have you ever considered committing suicide over the past 12 months? And for me, that was an opportunity, one of the safest opportunities for me to actually reach out for help. And lo and behold, that survey led into several opportunities for senior leaders to wrap their arms around me, literally, and cry with me and be with me and empathize with me and help me to recognize that if I reach out, support is there. And if there's options that I can't see, maybe my support system can help me see things that are not currently in my view. So I just want to share a little bit of my story today, because now I'm thriving, right? Now I'm happy. But all of that came on the cusp of not giving up. So if you're feeling in despair today, if you're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, I want you to know that there's hope. I want you to cling to everything you get to hear and to experience today. I want you to know that you're not alone and that you can come out on the other side of this thriving, healthy, happy, and whole. So thank you again for the opportunity. I really appreciate this time. And now I want to give it back to you, Mark and Dave.
Wow, that was really, really
Yeah,
moving,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Thank you, John.
So incredibly moving, so incredibly vulnerable, telling about those experiences.
Yeah.
And the theme I picked up from that was the importance of connection
Yes.
and reaching out.
Yeah, and being okay doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you and I both made like a little when he said it. That line of, "My friend loved me back to life."
Yes,
God, what a
love
great
that
phrase
line.
there, John. So
You know, my heart broke a little bit when he said, there he was, a member of the largest organization in the world, feeling lonely
feeling lonely.
and
Yeah.
disconnected.
Yeah. But to hear the people that wrap themselves around him.
Yes, that's right.
To love him back to life was
Yeah.
just such a great story and a great way to kick off today. So thank you, John, for being here. We greatly appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Thank you, John.